By that sound, you know it is a performance car that we're testing today, but would be hard to believe watching me sitting here serenely reading my magazine while Shapur there is grinning and gunning it.
Now when you buy a performance car like this, the place to be isn't at the back, it's here, doing 200 plus kilometers an hour, using that V8 engine and the grip and performance of this E-Class AMG to just fly down the road. It's pretty easy when you have 612 horses pulling you, and with 850 Nm of torque, acceleration is just effortless. Now on the track here, obviously, I'm in race mode, and this engine pulls almost all the way till 7,000 RPM here. It's a long, lusty pull. It feels even more powerful, and in race mode, I have a lot of connect and weight in the steering wheel, and even doing 250 here, when I put my foot down, I can feel it pulling harder and harder, which is just phenomenal. Power delivery is just relentless, and in the E63S, it's so easy to break all speed limits, but luckily I don't have any today. I can just enjoy the car. While AMG claim a 3.4 second 0 to 100, we couldn't put RV box on because launch control can only be activated after you've run in the car and done more than 1500 kilometers. But I can tell you that 100 comes up before you can blink, and then 200, and what we have today here, a real 300 kilometers an hour.
Don't worry, we're not breaking any laws, we're not doing anything illegal because we're at the freshly opened Natrax test facility in Indore, and we're on the 11.3 kilometer long high-speed oval where Shapur obviously is going just crazy because he has it all to himself.
The other great bit is when you put your foot down, this gearbox just snaps through the gears. And that really makes a difference to the driving experience. That quick, always on the ball gearbox is exactly what you need. The 9-speed gearbox works in perfect sync with the engine, and quick shifts punch through the gears urgently and aggressively, or as relaxingly as you want in comfort. And the great bit is that they are smooth and slick without you actually noticing. The gearbox works in tandem with a clutch-based 4-wheel drive system that can effectively send 100% of torque to the rear axle. And this allows you to lay down all the power with amazing ease. The accompanying audio has been lessened for regulations, but it's still quite awesome and extremely sporty. And I guess Mame Sub in the back is enjoying it. So, should I let Renuka drive? Maybe a bit later.
These boys these days, they're just bullying me. They don't let me get the wheel. They keep putting me in the back seat. But I have to say that I can't be complaining because it's a very comfortable back seat to be in. Although this is the regular wheelbase.
The AMG E63S and the AMG E53 are obviously both offered as regular wheelbase since they are performance-based.
And sitting here makes you realize how much more space the long wheelbase E actually opens up. Still, I have to say, I am pretty comfortable here even while Shapur's doing all the crazy stuff that he wants to up there.
The back seat has manual sunblinds and climate control, but the 2 USB-C charging ports are optional.
Madam, 300 coming up.
Where else could you be doing 300 kilometers an hour and sitting as serenely as this? Everything's just flying past, and inside here, just can't feel it.
The stability and composure of the E63 at speeds is quite remarkable, and on this flat section of tarmac, the refinement in the cabin was quite exceptional.
Now, where the E-AMG has also evolved over the years is in the stability department. Now, here we are at a seriously high speed, and the E is sitting on the road like a rock. It feels like I'm doing 100 or 120. Stability is super, even with a bit of crosswind. The car just seems to be saying, give me more. And the faster you go, because of the new aerodynamics, the better it sticks to the road. On this updated version, the suspension has been refined with the aim of adding comfort. There are no hard material changes, but suspension bushes have been altered and the dynamic engine mounts are retuned. There are also a few aero tweaks which include a new grille that reduces drag and wind noise, and there's also a new reshaped rear bumper and an updated diffuser that adds stability. Renuka is looking a bit too comfortable there in the back, isn't she?
I don't mind Shapur hogging the wheel because I'm actually quite relaxed and enjoying this today. Massive panoramic sunroof, nice shady day. It's so beautiful and the scenery is just flying past me. I'm actually quite enjoying this high-speed drive.
Well, it's time to get Renuka out of her reverie.
So Shapur has been trying to rattle me today, and he's now brought me to a place where I could potentially get really rattled. This is the ride quality track. And as you can see, it's been raining, and that's what's amazing about this NatTrax facility. It is so huge, one part of the track is dry and one part of it actually rains. I am on the concrete surface now, which is uneven concrete, and I have to say I am pretty darn comfy here. Still not getting rattled, but now we're going to move over to the paved section, which imitates cobblestones. Yeah, you can hear that a lot more than you can feel it.
But Shapur was adamant, so he threw it all at me. Cobblestones, pavers, small ruts, big ones, and even expansion gaps. But the back seat of the E is called luxurious for a reason. And I stayed completely comfortable back there. While the ride was remarkably settled on all kinds of surfaces, the problem was the refinement. A lot of tire noise filters through to the cabin, especially in the rear.
There has to be something said for that back seat. Renuka just isn't getting rattled. I need to try harder. So next up is the handling track. This tight, twisty circuit is the best place to give this car a real workout. Now on this tight handling circuit, this is where you really put this car to its test. You can feel the weight of the car, and it does roll a bit when you are going flat out. But the nose also points into corners pretty nicely, and that's despite it having four-wheel drive, and that sort of makes it fun. Now, I would have preferred a bit more sharpness to the steering and a bit more agility.
Yeah, and while Shapur is doing all his crazy stuff up there and really pushing this car to the max and trying to figure out how good the handling is, I am being swung a little bit from right to left, but that's only because he's going completely crazy.
Still comfy, Renuka?
I am still doing okay, but where are we going?
What Renuka didn't realize that I had saved the best for last. The E63S has a rear axle limited slip diff lock system, and once I activate drift mode, E63S can disengage the front drive shaft and only power the rear. And that's what we enthusiasts love.
Shapur, stop it! Stop! Stop! Stop the car! Stop! He's got that! Shapur, I said stop! Stop! Okay, that's it. I'm done. Shapur, I can't take this anymore.
Keep going.
Shapur, out. Get out. I'm not in the back seat anymore. I'm driving. Out, 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 out. Now I know why he was having so much fun. Well, that was a whole lot of fun, but another bucket list to be ticked. Gotta go crack that 300 km/h mark myself. And then we'll take this baby out into the real world and see what she feels like. Yes, crossing that 300 mark was a major bucket list tick, and it was time to call it a day. And while we transition to day 2, you take a look at what's new on the AMG E63S 4MATIC. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for notifications to enjoy more videos like these.
On the outside, the facelift comprises a mild exterior makeover, including new headlights and the AMG Panamericana grille that reduces drag and wind noise. At the rear, there are new flatter taillights, a reshaped bumper, and a more effective diffuser. There are also new, more aerodynamically efficient alloy wheels. Inside, the new E63S gets the latest MBUX infotainment system, a new touchpad on the center console instead of a rotary dial, and then there's the fabulous new steering wheel with twin horizontal spokes and haptic controls. It's similar to the one we saw on the new S-Class. The racy sport seats have been replaced by more comfortable ones. The seats, however, do provide active dynamic support by bolsters that inflate on the side when you encounter G-forces. And the seats are also ventilated. You can also get fun software that allows you to time yourself on the circuit and conduct your own drag race via a virtual Christmas tree on the touchscreen. And while you get Burmester audio, there are also options to upgrade to a higher 3D sound system. And you also get the Energizer Comfort Package for massage functions.
Okay, so it was an incredible day on the track, but today is another day and we have the E63 out on the road where really most people will be driving it most of the time. The steering is on the heavier side, so yes, you will feel that, especially when you're at lower speeds, when you're turning, when you're parking. There's a lot of drumming noise that's thrown up from the road that's constantly, heard in the cabin. That's another thing that you notice almost instantly. The track was flat and smooth and, really easy, so one didn't notice it much. But here, when, the roads are not so even, you notice it a lot more. The ride quality is on the firmer side, but, you expect that of a performance car. And when you dial this back into comfort, it is actually really good. You just hear the road and its imperfections more than you feel them. The power is always there. And I think that's the beauty about this engine. Wherever you put your foot down, at whatever speed you are at, whether it's 20 or 250, there's always enough power when you flatten your foot. When you're in the city in slower moving stop-start traffic, you will find that the gearbox is a bit snappy, and so it can get a bit jerky, especially at low speeds. But where this feels best is when you've got nice open stretches of highway where you can enjoy the power a bit. It always puts a smile on my face. And you've got this wonderful gurgling, burbling exhaust sound that accompanies it, which is just pretty awesome. So, to sum it up, the relentless power makes it as exciting as hell, and the drift mode adds the extra thrill. It's a cracker on the track and comfortable in the backseat. So the E63S is everything you want from your performance sedan.
Luxurious, well-equipped and maddeningly quick for a luxury four-door car.
ड्राइवर तुम कौन से टाइप का ड्राइवर है? सीट आगे करो जल्दी से।
यस मैडम।
खाना खाने के बाद हमको रिलैक्स करने का है।
जी मैडम।
आप प्लीज ये सीट बैक रेस्ट भी थोड़ा आगे करो, हमको कंफर्ट चाहिए, कंफर्ट। Stop it! Stop!
हाँ रेनबो आया गया।
We were talking about the Richie Blackmore's rainbow.
Richie Blackmore.